Board of Supervisors together on Monday, August 19th, 2024, 10 a.m. President is Supervisor Christensen and Supervisor Klein. Supervisor Humphrey is not present. I will go ahead and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then after that, Mary Ellen will offer an invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Glorious and blessed God, we place our work and ourselves into your hands. Anoint our creativity, our ideas, and our energy so that even the smallest task may bring you honor. God, when we are challenged, guide us. When we are weary, energize us. May the work that we do and the way that we do it bring hope, life, and courage to all with whom we minister in Gila County. Bless our administration with wisdom and discernment, our employees and elected officials with commitment and compassion, our constituents and their families with courage and strength. Rooted in your love, may your face illuminate all activities done in your name. Amen.
Thank you. So it's going to be a little awkward, me being here, you being there, and whatever delays there are in the sound, but we're going to work our way through that. So we don't have any members of the public here in Payson right now, so we might have a few in Globe on the first item, item 2A. If you are there and that, make sure you fill out one of those blue pieces of paper so I know what we're dealing with. It doesn't look like there's many, if any. And so let me read this. We're going to do item 2A. It's a public hearing. Information, discussion, action to adopt ordinance number 2024-07, which authorizes an amendment to the Gila County zoning map for unincorporated areas of Gila County, Arizona, by changing the zoning for assessment parcel number 301-11-047B, and it's located at B 327 West Fossil Creek Road in Strawberry, Arizona. And we're changing the request to change to commercial C2 zoning. Randy, good morning.
Morning, sir. Morning, Supervisor. So we're here for the Fossil Creek Farms, which is a mobile food vendor on 4 parcels that were combined into one parcel on the corner of Fossil Creek and Fuller. This has been going on for about 2 years. There's been some issues. They've corrected some things and everything's moving forward. So we're doing this in accordance with AR statute 11251.04 for the adoption of the ordinance. All the legal ads were put into the newspaper, 7:30 and 7:31, which is the roundup in the Silver Belt. The applicants held a neighborhood meeting on May 22nd, 2024. Property discussed the proposed rezoning with the neighbors. Per Mr. and Mrs. Perry, 4 attendees were in the neighborhood meeting. They stated comments, concerns received about having undesirable businesses open, such as a used car lot, if the property were to be sold. Gila County Development, Community Development staff received 4 opposed, 2 within the 200 or 300 feet, and I believe there are 77 letters that are in support. None of those are within the 300. The current property is dual zone. The portion that abuts Fossil Creek is zone TR. A TR use district is proposed to allow a degree of flexibility where a mixture of residential and light commercial uses will be flexible and beneficial. The applicants also propose to have outdoor seating. TR zoning would not allow for the outdoor seating. The lower portion of this parcel is zone residential 4 with a T overlay. It was allowed for 2 trailers. While this district permits a mixture of uses, the residential feature should be reasonably protected particularly those adjacent to the higher residential districts. I will tell you, our zoning doesn't tell us what are the higher residential districts. The commercial C2 property intent and purpose to permit most types of commercial activities orientated to a large segment of population than the average neighborhood. The district for this area is along major streets and highways, although uses within this district should be operated in such a manner as and compatible with surrounding residential uses. This district is not intended for mixed residential and commercial uses. The portion of 301-11-047B that abuts Fossil Creek falls within the mixed use category of the Gila County Comprehensive Plan. The mixed use category denotes the area of the county where a mixture of land uses, including residential, commercial, public facilities, recreational, and employment, may be within a single development or in an area with an existing mixed land use and or zoning classification. The Pine and Strawberry Community Development Plan states that based on an existing zoning patterns, Gila County Comprehensive Master Plan approves the creation of limited opportunities for mixed use development immediately adjacent to Fossil Creek. Prior to any business operation, it is important to note that the applicants will be required to obtain the development approval plan and be signed off by all the other departments that are involved, health department, wastewater, and so on. And I know a lot of the letters call this a restaurant, but this is a mobile food vendor, which calls for different requirements. Based on the application review and the land use appearances, the capable and harmonious with the neighboring uses, and the Planning and Zoning Commission on a duly authorized public meeting voted 4 for approval and 3 against. Staff, and based on that, is bringing forward this to you today. There are 3 conditions. Gila County Planning and Zoning Commission at a duly noticed public hearing held on July 18, 2024, voted 4-3 to recommend approval of the Gila County Community Development Department based on rezoning 2405001, subject to and adhere of the following conditions and approval. The owner of the property at APN 301-11-047 must comply with all requirements of Commercials 2 District. Per Arizona Revised Statute 11-814I, the board may approve change of the zoning conditions on a schedule for development of the specific use and uses for such zoning is requested. A development plan and all applicable permits must be issued and approved, and all inspections must be obtained within the 180 days from the date of the rezoning approval prior to the commencement of any business. Activities of subject property, the owner of APN 301-11-047B fails to obtain the development plan, the applicant permits, and all inspections within 180 days, Gila County may schedule a public hearing which may revert the zoning of the property to its former zoning classification of TR and R4 with a T overlay. The owner of 301-11-047B reserves the right to apply for an extension of time in the event of an uncontrollable problems. It is the responsibility of the owner of the subject property of APN 301-11-047B to obtain all necessary federal, state, county, and local permits that may be required. The issuance of the zoning does not relieve the owner of the liability for failing to obtain all required permits. Said that as quick as I could. I'm here for any questions you may have at this time. I know the applicants are here. I don't know if there's anyone else in here.
You know, I don't think I have any questions for you, Randy. I had a chance to go over this pretty well and listening to you, and I see where you're coming from, and so I think I'm good.
All right, sir.
So, I'm fairly familiar with the situation as well. So we have an overwhelming amount of positive comments on emails. We have about 4 that are not, and some of their complaints are there's no way you can do a septic system there. Is that true?
It will be complicated, but according to Jake, with wastewater, they can obtain a wastewater system.
Okay, and, there was, petting zoo concern, there was digging down in the Strawberry Creek, or the creek bed, there was, traffic and parking issues. And I know you've been dealing with all of that, and so I just need to know from you that, that all of that is being looked at, and that all of that is solvable.
So if you remember, the Board of Supervisors approved a variance through Public Works for where the entrance is to this property. They have submitted a site plan that looks plausible. I know they're going to rearrange it some. So Public Works thought it was plausible. We do think it's plausible for them to fit on there. They are not supposed to be digging in Cherry Creek there, and that's been dealt with the Department of Floodplain has dealt with it and has approved what they've done. They went and got a floodplain engineer and have said there's no backup, so everything seems to be moving forward. They still have some hurdles to get over, dealing with other departments, but I think everything that they are proposing at this point for a mobile food vendor is plausible.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else from Supervisor Klein, I'll close our comments and open it up to public hearing. We do have a young lady here with us this morning, Virginia Turner, is Spurling in, Harvard. Okay, and, if you'd like, if you can make comments, we'd like to limit it to about 3 minutes.
On the record that I'm very much in favor of Fossil Creek Farms being able to get their C2 zoning. When they were open, we used to go to their place often, and most of the time they were not able to use their seating area because they did not get the C2 zoning. And it would be a nice addition for them to be able to use that. If they have their C2 zoning, I think that would help them be able to use the area. They serve really good food at reasonable prices, and they seem like very professional people.
Okay, thank you for those comments. Do we have anyone in the Globe group?
I don't think so, Steve. Would you guys like to say something? Sure. Mrs. Perry would like to speak.
This way.
Yeah.
I'm Carrie Perry, owner of Fossil Creek Farm, and I do want to go on record for saying this has been, like Randy pointed out, a long time coming, a long project. At the beginning of the project, we did not have all the information, but over the last year, Randy has done an amazing job kind of pulling it all together, wrangling in head of every department in Payson, and we've worked with Public Works, with DART and Alex, flood control, everyone. We've had the Army Corps of Engineers come out, FEMA, and we've actually hired and paid thousands for hydraulic analysis of the creek. So like Randy said, it's all taken care of. There's a lot, we've had numerous meetings in Payson with all department heads. So there's a lot of manpower hours. We appreciate all the time everyone has given to this project. And yes, we would love to see it. For that particular neighborhood, there were a lot of elderly and just families that would come that like to walk, to sit in the eating area, to eat their food, then walk home, but visit with neighbors. And that's what we wanted to create, a place where the community could come and visit with each other. So thank you for your time, and thank you everyone that has helped.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bear. Is there anyone on the internet, Cassandra?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'll close the public hearing at this point, and I will call for motion
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to adopt ordinance number 2024-07.
I will second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
Very good. Let's move on now. Regular agenda item 3A. Information discussion. And I know Supervisor Klein, you need to have everything done by 12, so we're going to work hard on doing that.
Yeah, no, that, I gotta be out of here by 12, Steve, thanks.
Yeah, so if we can move through this as quickly as we can, then let's do that. Thank you for coming. Item 3A, information discussion action to set primary and secondary property taxes for fiscal year 2024, 2025 for all taxing jurisdictions within Gila County and convey tax rates for all jurisdictions to the county treasurer and adopt resolution number 24-08-03, providing for the collection of taxes for all jurisdictions by the county treasurer for fiscal year 24 and 25. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Supervisor Klein. This morning we have our fiscal year 25, tax year 24 tax rates for all special districts, school districts, and other jurisdictions in Gila County available for you.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor.
I don't have any questions, Mayor, thank you.
I don't have any questions. I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to set the primary and secondary property tax rates for fiscal year 25 for all jurisdictions within Gila County and convey tax rates for all jurisdictions to the county treasurer and adopt resolution number 240803.
I will second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
3B is information discussion action to ratify the board of supervisors approval for the submittal of the Arizona Criminal Justice Commission fiscal year 2025 Crime Victim Compensation Program grant application. Approve ACJP FY 2025 Crime Victim Compensation Program grant agreement number BC-2025-004 in the amount of $42,934.23 for the period July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024, and authorize the board chairman to electronically sign the agreement. And who's presenting?
I will, Chairman.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. This is an annual grant that the County Attorney's Office submits. We've already submitted it for the 2025 fiscal year. We were awarded $43,934.23. And so this is for the ratification of submitting the application and then approving the award for the victim compensation program.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Klein.
No, I'm good. Thank you, Jessica.
I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to ratify the Board of Supervisors' approval for the submittal of the Arizona Criminal Justice Commission, ACJC, fiscal year 2025 Crime Victim Compensation Program grant application and approve ACJC 2025 Crime Victim Compensation Program grant agreement number VC 2025-004 and authorize the board chairman to electronically sign the agreement.
Great. I will second that motion, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. Thank you. Item 3C, information discussion and action to approve the use of Arizona State Contractor number CTR 056276 with APIC Solutions in the amount of $884,671.79 through May 31st, 2025. For video surveillance services for the County of Central Heights Facility, Globe Courthouse, Copper Building, Ferraro Building, Mason Courthouse, TCM, County Complex, and the Star Valley Elections Storage Building. Good morning, Joseph.
Good Good morning, Chairman, Board of Supervisors. Gila County Facilities and Land Management, in collaboration with IT, is spearheading an exciting ARPA-funded project to overhaul and standardize the county security program. The first phase involves replacing outdated surveillance systems at critical locations, significantly enhancing security measures. This would be a total install of 149 cameras in various locations. This project is a proactive step towards modernizing security infrastructure. The second phase will ensure long-term maintenance and replacement of security infrastructure at additional facilities over a 3 to 5 year period. This initiative demonstrates the county's commitment to ensuring the safety and security of its residents and its facilities. As mentioned, the primary source funding to support this project is approved with ARPA. It's something I want to note is on the front half, being able to work with IT on an operational standpoint, but there's some other key players being able to support this project. I'd like to say thank you to the courts. We were able to put in for a court security grant that was in the amount of $24,000 that will go to this project also. And we're currently working with the finance department, so I just want to thank them and their grant writer to be able to support us. We're in the approval process for another grant. With that, I'd be happy to take any questions.
So thank you, Joseph, and looks like this will cover quite a few of our buildings and get us a good step ahead, so that's great.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Joe. I'll call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve contract number CTR 056376 with APIC Solutions Incorporated as presented.
And I will second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Item 3B, information discussion and action to approve the use of Arizona State contract number CTR 059886 with Frontier Technology, doing business as Micro Age in the amount of $108,840 for the term of July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. Provide managed network services to Gila County. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, Supervisor. This is a request for managed services through MicroAge for networking support for a year. So this will give us the support we need for the county to be able to keep us as secure as possible. So I can answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chairman. So Carrie, looking at this and reading on it the other day, is this a position that we would typically have in our organization? And due to the fact we just can't find anyone is the reason you're reaching out to contract?
Yes, sir. So this is a position, this is our networking position that I cannot find a candidate. And this isn't a position that you can train in just a year. You know, this is somebody that needs 10 years experience, you know, to be able to fulfill this position.
So what is going to be your intent? To keep looking for a person to fill this gap or just keep the contract?
At this point, they're providing quite a bit. They're providing 24/7 monitoring of our network, and so they're being able to provide us with support that even if we had another person in place, couldn't give us the support they're giving us right now. So.
And this company is a pretty good company?
Yes,
Pretty
sir.
dependable?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Carrie.
Yes.
Thank you, Terry. I don't have any questions, so I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve contract number CTR 059886 with Frontier Technology LLC, DBA MicroAge as presented.
I will second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie.
Item 3B, information, discussion, action, and adopt resolution 24-08-04, authorizing the Gila County Facilities and Land Management Department to waive fees for activities conducted or supervised by the University of Arizona Cooperative Extension Program in the Gila County Fairgrounds that are demonstrated to provide an educational, vocational, and and other economic benefits to people in the county. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Chairman, Supervisor Klein. So this item has been a long time coming. So what this resolution outlines is Gila County waiving the fees for the 4-H Club for activities out at the fairgrounds. They hold approximately 150 events and meetings out there each year. And we've been working with the county attorney to get this resolution in place so we don't come in violation with the gift clause of the state of Arizona. And this is the route that we're taking that I'm very comfortable with presenting to the board. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chairman. So Michael, is this good just for this calendar year or this fiscal year, and then we'll have to do it again, or just, or we can just automatically renew it in time, or how's it?
It's good until the board decides to go, take the resolution back, in essence.
Okay.
So there are a couple clauses in here that the county can determine at some point in time in the future that we can charge the 4-H Club if we need to, and that they must adhere to our facility scheduling system that everyone else in the county has to use as well.
But if that comes up, it'll come back in front of us as a board, right?
Absolutely, sir.
Right on. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
You bet.
Okay, very good. With that, I will offer a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to adopt resolution number 240804.
I will second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you,
Motion
sir.
carries unanimous. Thank you, Michael. Okay, item 3F is information, discussion, action to authorize the Gila County Animal Care and Control Division to submit the fiscal year 2025 grant application to the Arizona Companion Animal Spay and Neuter Committee in the amount of $10,000 for 1 year to expand Gila County's discounted spay and neuter service programs. Looks like Josh is here.
Good morning, Chairman, Supervisors. So this is the pot of money from the Arizona license plates, the PET plates. So we apply for this $10,000 every year to try to supplement. This is specifically for the spay and neuter program that we do with the community. So we apply every year. I think last year we didn't receive it when we initially applied, and then they ended up giving it to us anyways. But we apply for this every year, and like JC always says, it covers around 100 animals a year. And it helps out with our any kind of animal problem and any low-income individuals that need those spay and neuters. So,
Cool. So does it pretty much cover all the animals that come in then through a year, Josh, or we still fall short?
so this one we still fall short for the community.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, we could use 20 or 30,000 if they would allow it to us, but this is the cap for the grant.
Okay, well, it helps anyway. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Josh. With that, I'll call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to authorize the Gila County Animal Care and Control Division to submit a fiscal year 2025 grant application to the Arizona Companion Animal Spay and Neuter Committee as presented.
I will second the motion, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. 3G, information, discussion, action, authorize Gila County Animal Control Division, wait, wrong one. 3H, right?
No, it's 3G.
Okay, looks a lot alike. Okay.
They're very similar.
On G is submit a fiscal year 2025 grant application to the Arizona Companion Animal Spay and Neuter Committee in the amount of $10,000 for 1 year to expand the spay and neuter program for dogs and cats sheltered at the Gila County Animal Care and Control Facility. Josh,
So
how's that different?
So very similar to the one that we typically apply for, but they opened up an additional pot of funding this year that would cover animals not for the community, but these are the ones that are at the animal control facility. So this would be things that we would normally either control with our normal general fund budget, but this would allow us even to hopefully, with the way that John Castaneda works in animal control, hopefully this would allow us to, as we try to keep our any kind of euthanasia rates down and try to get animals out. There's a lot more partnership now between all the different counties and everything. So this could help us expand, the spay and neuters we could do when transferring dogs in and out, or even just more dogs at our own shelters. So hopefully we get it. Like I said, it's the first time we've applied for this. We wanted to separate them so everyone understood that these are two different ones that we're applying for. But yeah, this is only for our shelter.
So, thank you, Mr. Chair. So I would imagine, Josh, that you can spay and neuter those animals that's in your facility is gonna help them get adopted out. I mean, that only makes sense. So that's a good thing. So thank you guys for doing that.
Thank you. Promotion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to authorize the Gila County Animal Care and Control Division to submit a fiscal year 2025 grant application to the Arizona Companion Animal Spay and Neuter Committee as presented.
And I will second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you, Josh.
I think we have one more. 3H, information discussion action to approve amendment number 4 to the IGA contract number CTR 055207 with the Arizona Department of Health Services in the amount of $204,367 to enhance current public health emergency preparedness activities and $622,201 to provide workforce development deliverables from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
So this is our annual, we've had this for a long time, started with our bioterrorism grant, now it's our public health emergency preparedness grant. The main thing, as far as the residents and everybody are concerned, is this covers our communicable disease program. So everything we do, whether it be a outbreak at a youth camp or when we're tracking COVID, any pertussis, any of the diseases and the investigations and everything that we do in this area, looking into mosquito-borne illnesses, looking at the bird flu cases that we've had lately in humans, all that information all kind of comes down the pipe through this public health emergency preparedness. We have an epidemiologist on staff that's their whole job, is just looking into all the cases and everything that we have in Gila County. And then we have a second full-time staff member who's the manager for that program that helps make sure that we're part of the state's planning for our pneumonia, our influenza plan, all the different non-pharmaceutical intervention plans. When we have COVID, when that happened, they kind of took the lead on opening that emergency command center and tracking the disease. So this is that's the area. It's all about being prepared for any kind of communicable disease outbreaks that could happen in the future. The workforce development part of this is kind of the leftover funding that came from COVID. It's part of this because what happened during COVID is we lost a lot of the workforce in public health preparedness. A lot of the communicable disease people and everything were kind of overrun. So they've attached this public health workforce development piece on there to try to help us hire, retain, and keep the staff we have. As I've said before in prior meetings, we use our funding to help try to maintain the staffing we have. We fortunately haven't lost the staff. A lot of the staff we have, we're pretty full right now in public health, so we're doing a lot of workforce development around just training our staff to hopefully be able to take on future positions and know more about the communicable diseases that are out there and just use the funding for those purposes.
Okay. So, Josh, is this about the same amount of money as we've been getting? I don't remember, but
The $204,000 for FEP, believe it or not, in the 13 years I've off and on been with the county has stayed flat. So they call it level funding every year. As you can imagine, level funding has been decreasing every year for the last 13 years. But yeah, that $204,000 stayed flat for all the years that I've been here. Okay. The $600,000, that's actually they wrote it in that way, but it's a 5-year grant. So that's when they came up with the amendment this year, they subtracted what we've spent so far, and that's actually the remainder for the 3.5 years we have left. I think it comes out to $90,000 a year, if I remember right, for the workforce development.
Good, thank you.
Yep.
Any questions? With that, I'll call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve amendment number 4 to the Arizona Department of Health Services Intergovernmental Agreement, contract number CTR 055209 as presented.
I will second that motion, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
3I, information discussion action to approve amendment number 9, to contract number 019-0444 between the Pinal County Council for Senior Citizen Area Agency on Aging, Region 5, Our department to receive funding in the amount of $10,226 to continue providing eligible citizens with home repair, renovation, and housing supportive services from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. Haley, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Klein. This grant through Pinal Gila Council for Senior Citizens is great for our senior citizen population. Our age requirement for this funding is 60 plus. What we can do with this $10,000, while not a ton of money, is still super helpful for that population. We can do minor home repairs, things such as like widening doorways for increased mobility, access. We can install ramps for people who need them. And then we can also use some of this funding for heating and cooling to keep people temperature controlled and healthy. So this does not have a match requirement and is for this fiscal year. I'm happy to answer any other questions.
Thank you, Supervisor.
So Kaylee, we've already collected money for these projects as well, right? So this will be in addition to that money?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, I mean, when you look at $10,000, if that was the whole amount, it would be like, we're not gonna even get off first base, so.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kat. I don't have any questions, so I'll call the motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve amendment number 9 to contract number 0190444 with the Pinal Gila Council for Senior Citizens Area Agency on Aging, Region 5 as presented.
I will second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Kaylee.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, on to item 3J. Information, discussion, action, review of bids submitted for invitation for bid number 060424. The control road roadway improvements and award contract for the lowest, most responsible and qualified bidder. We have Alex.
Thank you, Chairman, Supervisor. So as you know, the Forest Service has been working on some thinning projects up on the Tano off of Control Road. Part of that, they worked with the county here on getting a design in place for paving a mile of the Control Road at Whispering Pines. About a month ago, we brought this before you guys for the invitation to bid. We reviewed all the bidders. Perkins Cinders met all of the bid specifications and was the lowest bidder at $1,068,000, $68,070.19. So we would like to award that bid to them so that we can keep this project going. Any questions?
Supervisor.
So Alex, did we have any local bidders bid on this project?
No.
Really?
We had 4 bidders, Perkins being the lowest, and the closest bidder, I believe, was Earth Resources Quest, but they're not in
local.
Gila County either.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, I see that's great. I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to award a contract to Perkins Cinders Incorporated in the amount of $1,068,070.19 in response to invitation for bids number 060424.
Yes, and I will second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item 3K, information, discussion, and action. To approve amendment number 2 to contract number 060322 on-call pavement marking with Traffic Safety Inc. to extend the contract term from September 30th, 2024 to September 19th, 2025 for not to exceed contract amount of $150,000. Good morning, Romero.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, Supervisor Klein.
Good morning.
This particular item is to extend the contract for an additional year. This will be our second amendment to the contract with on-call pavement marking to allow us for an amount not to exceed $150,000 for the current, from September 2024 to September of 2025. Last year, we spent $77,000 on this contract, and we striped most of our roads. Our goal is to make an effort to stripe all our roads every year, given that we snow blade our paved roads. We have a lot of curves and a lot of slopes on our roads, so striping them is a much-needed safety feature. If we were to stripe every single road that we have, it'd be something like $98,000. So $150,000 should be more than enough to stripe all our roads, and with that, we would like to ask for your approval of this amendment number 2 to the contract with on-call pavement markings. Any questions?
Homer, I don't have any questions. I think that's a good deal. We can get it done, hopefully. That'd be great.
Thank you for that, Mayor. Without call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve amendment number 2 to contract number 060322 with Traffic Safety, Inc. as presented.
I will second the motion and call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Home Girl. Item number 3, L, information, discussion, and action to authorize the advertisement of invitation for bid number 071924. Is the Campaign Creek post-fire project for the demolition of up to 10 residential homes and associated outbuildings, which will mitigate flood hazard associated with Campaign Creek. Alex.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Supervisor. If it's all right with you, I'd like to actually do the background for both L and M together, since there'll be two. They're both involving Campaign Creek. So with your guys' approval, as you know, we received FEMA funding for Campaign Creek. Since that's federal funding, we have to make sure that we meet all the requirements in order to be reimbursed for any expenditures. Part of that requirement is getting the proper, or going out for bid for the demolition companies and receiving the bids, reviewing the bids, and then evaluating them like we do with most projects. But we need to use a FEMA's matrix for this one. So this is a request to go out for bid for the demolition of these 10 properties for Campaign Creek.
Okay. So, okay. So Alex, this'll push it out for bid, and then they'll come back and we'll have another meeting on that, right? Another agenda item.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll show you who we picked based on the matrix and why, and ask for your guys' approval of that contractor at that time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I remember. We're paying part, homeowners are paying part, and the state's paying part. I think it's the state, but anyway, be interested to see what the numbers are. So with that, I'll call for motion.
You wanted us to go ahead and push a motion on this and approve this, or?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. When they come in, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We have to, so this is the invitation for bid.
Yeah.
Once we receive the bids, we'll review them and then we'll bring them back for
another
bid.
For another agenda item.
Correct.
Okay. So with that being said, I'll make the motion to authorize the advertisement of invitation for bids number 071924.
I will second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. Item 3M, information, discussion, and action to authorize the advertisement of request for proposal number 072124, Campaign Creek post-fire project for asbestos inspection and removal services for up to the 10 residents we just previously talked about and associated buildings. Alex.
All right, so because this is a FEMA project, we have to make sure that we meet all the environmental standards, one of which is the abatement of asbestos. In order to do that, we are presenting a request for proposal to be sent out. That proposal will respond with how much and how they will abate that asbestos on these projects. And so we're bringing this together with the demolition, but as a separate item because we need to know how they're going to deal with the asbestos versus a demolition, which is a much simpler process.
Okay, so Alex, what kind of time frame are we gonna be looking at on all this? When do you think we can wrap it up and be done?
The whole project or the
Sure,
bids?
let's go for all of it.
All right, so as you know, the project needs to be done by the end of June, per the FEMA guidelines that we're given. We originally applied for the 36 months due to the red tape and getting the project out. They only gave us until the end of June 2025 to get it done. So our goal is to be done by then, 100%.
Okay.
Everything's addressed. We're working on getting the titles purchased within the next 2 weeks. And then with these bids going out and reviewed and then approved and back before you guys, we would like to get the demolition and asbestos going within about a month to 6 weeks, and then have that done within a 3 to 6 month period.
Cool. Are you anticipating any issues with your assessments?
At the moment, no, but
Okay.
as you know, that can change
Mm-hmm.
in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, good. I hope it works out that way and it all gets done. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll make the motion to authorize the advertisement of invitation for bids number 072124.
I will second, all in favor say
Aye.
aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks,
you.
Alex.
Item number 3N, information discussion action to ratify the board of supervisors approval for the submission of a grant application to APS, or Little Public Service Corporation, given in the amount of $5,000 on behalf of Pleasant Valley Veterans Retreat, accept the award of $5,000 from APS Corporate, giving on behalf of Pleasant Valley Veterans Retreat, and approve economic development agreement number 07232024 in the amount of $5,000 between Gila County and Pleasant Valley Veterans Retreat, all of which the board has determined to be for the benefit of the public. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. As all of you know, the Pleasant Valley Veterans Retreat has a nonprofit that supports it. It's September the 14th this year will be the second gala on behalf of the Pleasant Valley Veterans Retreat. And because the nonprofit has not been in existence for over 3 years, we have to go through, the nonprofit board has to go through Gila County to apply for funds from APS. The funding was accepted and it was awarded and has come back. And so now we need to have the county approve the pass-through, and it does not affect general fund money, doesn't affect any county money at all. It's simply $5,000 pass-through to the nonprofit. And I'll answer any questions if you have any.
No, not really, Kathy, but thanks for putting all this together, and thanks to APS too. This is the second
Yes.
go-around they've done this.
Yes.
And so they've been a big supporter of all this, and it's really, really good to have them in our corner, so thanks.
They've been great.
Yes, thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to ratify the Board of Supervisors' approval for the submission of a grant application to Arizona Public Service, APS Corporate, giving on behalf of Pleasant Valley Veterans Retreat Incorporated, and accept the award from APS Corporate Giving on behalf of Pleasant Valley Veterans Retreat Incorporated, and approve Economic Development Agreement number 07232024, which the board has determined to be for the benefit of the public.
And I will second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. Next, item 3O. Information discussion action to approve economic development agreement 07202024 between Gila County and the Miami Genesis in the amount of $4,500 for the production of the Miami Fiesta 2024. This will be for the benefit of the public. This is Tim's item. Anyone speaking for this?
Yes, I'll take it, Mr. Chair, and present it for Tim. I know that we've done this in the past. Tim has presented this. It goes for a good cause, and it's been very appreciated in the past, and I believe it's it's a good deal. I don't know if I can answer many other questions on it, but you can give it your best shot.
No, I'll call for a motion, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll make the motion to approve Economic Development Agreement number 07202024, which the board has determined to be for the benefit of the public.
And I will second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. On to item number 4, which is the consent agenda action items. We have items 4A through 4G. Supervisor Klein, do you wish to discuss any or all of those separately?
No, I don't believe so. I think I'm good.
Okay, I'm good as well, so I'll call for motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve consent agenda items 4A through 4G.
And I will second the motion. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. Call to the public, item number 5. Is there anyone in Globe that wishes to speak at this time? Call to the public.
No one in Globe.
No one's in Mason and Cassandra?
No one on the internet.
Okay, great. How many did we have today?
We were up to about 35.
Cool.
Okay, good. And at this time, we'll move on to item number 6, the last item. And we need to get reports from the supervisors and county manager. Mr. Medlow.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Supervisor Klein. Good to be here. Last couple of weeks been busy. Been to Tucson, meeting with government finance officers of Arizona, and also in Prescott for County Managers Association, meeting with going through essentially our yearly plan for county managers and the things we'll address, preparing for our legislative summit that will be in Maricopa in October. And so that is going to be exciting to talk about our entire legislative package that we have and to go through that in a couple of months. Last week, went to Alpine to participate in the Eastern Arizona Counties Organization annual meeting. A lot of things going on there, and we'll have discussions with those with you, Supervisor Klein, of what's there and what things they're looking for. They are looking for input from us as a county, and we will do that. Then also had a meeting at the Pleasant Valley Veterans Retreat on Thursday to be with a group that is looking to develop veterans services and things in the Wickenburg area. So full couple of weeks. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So I really don't have a lot of things to report on. I've been a little bit under the table, under the weather lately, but I do want to thank everybody for your well wishes and the card and everything like that. I thought that this was going to be a done deal the other day, but I got a little bit more to go. But I think I'll have a whip pretty quick. So, but I do want to thank everybody for that. But I do think that Kathy might have a little bit to report on a meeting for the memorial deal you attended last weekend. So I know you couldn't be there either, Steve, but Kathy was there representing Gila County.
Yes, on Saturday I went out to Bonita Creek Estates where they did a memorial for the firefighters who passed away during the Dude Fire. And I was really surprised at how many people were there. They did a really, really nice memorial for the firefighters. The community there did it all themselves, so it was all volunteers from the community. Forest Service helped out. It was very touching. A lot of the firefighters' family members showed up and spoke, and a lot of tears, but it was a really good thing. Probably about 150 people, I think. And then afterwards, they had a fundraiser barbecue there at the local little fire station. And it was really nice. I was happy I went up there. It was a little warm. It lasted about 2.5 hours, I think, a lot longer than I thought it would be. But the Payson Ranger announced that they just got their 3rd award or contract to do the 3rd year of cleaning out brush around that area to really help with fires in that area. So it was really nice. I was glad that I went. Thanks.
Thank you for going.
Thank you, Jeff. And, I mean, I did send a letter, I hope you got that to them, but I had a conflict and couldn't be there.
Chairman Christensen, they actually did not have the county on the agenda, so we did not get to make an appearance other than just to let them know I was there.
That's a lot to report on either. We just got done with the 141st rodeo here in Mason, so that was good, exciting, very well attended, record-breaking attendance. So that brings a lot of economy to Gila County, really like that. I've got a couple of important meetings coming up regarding Fossil Creek recreation area, and so I think things are moving along, and it's a little premature to report on anything, but I'm encouraged to think that we're going to make some headway on that whole situation there. Just to let you know, Karen did have her shoulder replaced, and so she's doing really great though. So anyway, good report. Anyway, I don't have anything else, so with that, I'll just end the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.